What's up, Caveman here? I know I need to give you guys a new deck profile. And I just lost a couple games of beer pong, so I figure, you know what, it might be a good idea to give you guys a deck profile, because, at least I can win at this game. Anyway, it's kind of an updated version of my last deck that I posted. That build was pretty crappy. I mean, it was alright, it still won some games, but this is the fucking shit. Excuse my language, sorry. Looks like this rating for this video is going to R. But let me get in the deck. It's based around Last Warrior for Another Planet. His effect is when he special summon, you destroy all monsters you control, except himself. And while he's face up on the field, neither player, that's not you or your opponent, for those of you guys who can't figure out neither player. But you can't normal summon, special summon, or flip summon any monster. So he's pretty boss, and I'll show you how to get around his effect for you. But, yeah. Anyway, it's based around him. Let me get in the deck, and then I'll explain some shit. Booyah. Here's some of the materials for him. He plays 2 Zombira. This guy is pretty good. One of the deck's biggest problems is a normal summon Thunder King on turn 1 by your opponent, because you search a lot, and you play 3 dualities, and yeah. But he's 2100, he just summon, attack over Thunder King, then do your shit. So, he's pretty good, just to draw. The other material is Mariakutai. He has some very situational uses. His effect is, during your opponent's turn, when they activate a spell, you tribute to negate it. Which is okay, I mean, but it's not really that great. He's just there for being the material for Last Word, and he's water. Keep that in mind. I play 3 King of the Swamp because it subs for either of those materials. It searches my 1 polymerization that I play later, that I'll show you later, and he's water. I play Stratos because, he's a +1 and pretty much a badass. I plays 3 Elemental Hero Prisma. The deck drops Shining a lot, and he becomes either Mariakutai, this guy, Mariakutai, sorry, and Zombira. So, you have lots of ways of getting your materials. The last monster in the deck, the 12th monster, it only plays 12 monsters, so Royal Tribute doesn't hurt it too much. But the last monster is Watmole. And he's so pro, you guys don't even know. In this deck, I mean, when you get around your Last Warrior's effect, you just summon him and pop 2 monsters. He can attack twice, okay? And what his effect is you guys remember Suzuki Samurai? The 500 attack warrior, level 3, I think. Attacks face down, destroys it immediately. He's pretty much a badass with that sword. It looks pretty sick. And they made like 5 versions of him, but the original one's the best. He's like him on steroids. He has 0 attack. Sorry about the bad quality. He has 0 attack, but he can destroy 2 monsters with his effect immediately. So like face down Rykos don't even hurt, and blah 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 blah. He's so pro. And he's a light for Shining, which is pretty good. We go on the spells, is the biggest portion of the deck. Most of it's searching and drawing and etc. But I'll get into it. He plays Terraforming, Trip Fusion Gate, which makes the deck what it is. Poly, just because King of the Swamp can search him, you can discard him and search. Plays Reinforcement of the Army. You can grab the E-Heroes or Zombira, which is always good. Gives you 1 air material, so there you go. Plays 2 E-Call, because it's pretty pro. These are proxies. I'm sorry, I'm waiting for the reprint of Duality, but it plays Trip Duality, and I missed Pot of Greed, so that's why I picked that. Plays Trip Upstart, 3 Upstart and 3 Duality, just because you really, really want to hit Last Warrior as soon as possible. It plays 3 Forbidden Lance to protect the Last Warrior once it's on the field. It's really good. I mean, your opponent's outs to Last Warrior are going to be Dark Hole and Book of Moon and traps, but I played 3 Decree, which I'll show you, and that gets around the traps. So really, they have Dark Hole and Book of Moon. A lot of decks don't even play Book of Moon anymore, which is stupid. I think they should, but whatever, they don't. So the 3 Forbidden Lance protect you from the Dark Hole and Book of Moon. I have another proxy here and 2 of the real card. It's 3 Forbidden Chalice. Yeah, it plays 3 of each of the Forbiddens. But whatever. The Chalice lets you get around your last warrior. If you Chalice the last warrior, his effect's negated, you can drop a whole bunch of monsters and just gain advantage pretty quick. The Wotmole or some of the other fusions that I'll get to later. Book of Moon also lets you do that. Originally, I had played 2 Chalice and 1 Book. I found myself, just in case I don't hit my last warrior early, I like the versatility of Book to be able to book a tuner and stuff. And the fact that it lets me get around my last warrior, I'm like, why not? It plays Monster Reborn, Giant Trunade. This next card I just added tonight. I didn't even know it existed, but this card is super good. I tested it tonight, and it's been awesome. But it's Dimension Explosion, and its effect is you return a face-up fusion monster you control with the extra deck, and then you special summon 2. Each player special summons 2 removed from play monsters. So it lets you push for more damage. It lets you drop Shinings. It's abusable with 0. I mean, this card by itself is just awesome. I side a second copy. The deck's secondary win condition, because a lot of times games turn into long games, is Wave Motion Cannon. And I play 2 of these. A lot of times I've had games where literally 15 turns has been draw pass. So if this chills on the field for 8 turns, that's 8,000. If you play upstarts, I mean, even if it's 9 or 10 turns, whatever. You're going to be able to push for attack damage anyway, so even if you can drop them below like 2,000, the turn you're going to push for attack, I mean, you send for 6 and then attack with Last Warrior for 2350, that's game. So this is the secondary win condition. I added this recently too, and so far it's been testing pretty well. The deck plays 3 Chaps and it's 3 Royal Decree. Another good thing about Wave Motion is if you have Decree up or Fusion Gate up, and Wave Motion or something like that, like your opponent's really going to have to think about what they want a Mystical Space Typhoon. If they space the Decree and they can't get around Wave Motion, you're going to win. If they space the Wave Motion and they can't get around Decree, you're going to win. So the deck is really good. Let me get into the main fusions. It's Last Warrior, obviously. He's so pro. He's so good. You guys don't even know. So good. The Shining, because he's super abusable in this deck. It's mainly, if you don't hit him, it's mainly him. And last one is Absolute Zero. But one of the combos in the deck is to stall until you can drop 0, and then Shining the same turn. So you nuke their field, and then you have like a 3500 beater and a 2350 beater out, and you just poke for damage. And after that point, I mean, it's whatever. Thing to remember about this deck, like I said in the last video, is games turn to be long games sometimes. Don't be afraid to draw pass. Don't attack blindly into things you don't know. I mean, if it's Samurais, it's not going to be Raikou face down, you know? Raikou can be a problem, Fossil Dyna can be a problem, Kinetic Soldier can be a problem, etc. But another thing that a lot of people don't realize is if you attack and say it is a Fossil or it is a Raikou, in the damage step you can play Chalice to negate that effect of the Raikou or the Fossil. And then there you go, your Last Warrior lives. Mainly Chalice is for Last Warrior for this deck, but it has its uses outside of that. Like, if you can't open Last Warrior, or if it's, you know, if you go second and you want to bait some shit or whatever, I mean, just be able to set Chalice and negate one of their monster effects is huge in itself. It's like playing Veiler. And I mean, you can play it on either turn and in the damage step, which is huge for this deck. I'm trying to think of other combos. I mean, I play other fusions. I play a Gaia, I play a Cyber Twin, a Chimera Tech for when I side in Cyber Dragons, and yeah, I'm trying to think. I think I pretty much covered everything. The these three fusions are what really makes the deck. There's a Dark Elemental Hero fusion in the OCG. If it gets released in the TCG, I'll play it. I'll probably end up playing. Sorry about my finger. Probably end up playing Gaia as well, just to have that option if I chalice him and then use him as my fusion material or whatever. It's an option. The deck plays 4 Synchros. It's Catastor, Brionac, Black Rose, and Scrap Dragon. That's it, just because of Monster Reborn. You're never going to really be able to drop a Trish or anything like that. I mean, maybe. So you could play Trish. But that's the deck. Questions, comments, current events, and if you have any beer pong tips, because I just got my ass kicked, let me know. Peace.